to the second hour of Once Upon a Game, episode 19, where we're playing Downfall. Once again, Downfall is a game about setting up a society and then watching it crash and burn. In a way, our society kind of already did that,
Yes.
and we're looking at the aftermath.
The second bird.
Yeah, so the second burning, Burning Man. So our game here is about the haven called the Pride of Sol, which was like a colony ship or like a survivor ship, refugee ship, maybe something about our society was lost, and this was one of the last remaining ships, and we found a planet that they could live on, maybe, or it drifted and crashed. We don't know, but ultimately, this colony ship did not land safely. It crashed and burned into a valley, scattering the survivors and everybody like that. So now we're looking at this. Some length of time afterwards, and we have this crazy society that's afraid of letting go their past while trying to move on and develop a new world on this new planet. So, yeah, that's our society. Super cool. Really excited to light this thing on fire.
Yes.
But before we do that, we get to make our characters, and through the lens of our characters is how we're going to see how these log pieces of our society start catching fire. So the first thing we do is our hero. The hero is the protagonist, and they're going to be the one struggling against the flaw. They're going to recognize that there's a problem in this haven, and they're going to tragically fail at stopping it. So the first... Oh, what's up?
Oh, no. Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, no, I thought you had a question. Okay, so the first thing we do is that we have to discuss these questions that are listed below. So the first one's occupation, and it's what do you do? What tradition is your occupation connected to? So the occupation should be connected to one of these traditions in some way.
Maybe an undertaker of sorts for the funeral tradition.
I was thinking of actually doing a child getting ready to do the rite of passage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's strong.
because they'd be like untainted by the tradition, or at least not as steeped in it. Yeah,
Right.
I dig it.
Okay, going with
I'm
that.
fine with that already.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry, that came to me. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, that's good.
To begin, card agogi.
Um,
Cool. So the next one is rebellion, and it's what tradition do you oppose, and why do you oppose it?
I kind of feel like we're all on the same wavelength with this one. But there's
Yeah.
some obvious choices. Um,
What are some obvious choices? One I was thinking was we were born with the ability to communicate with the data banks.
okay.
Like we can bypass the elders.
Yeah, so opposing that tradition. That was kind of where I was going. Well, it wasn't the exact
But
same
I
thing.
feel like I also just added something for occupation, so if somebody else had a cool idea, please. And once again, even if you think it's obvious, please share it, because what's
Yeah, of
obvious to
course.
you is not obvious to other players.
Like, I would guess that they're opposed to religion. That's what I was thinking. That they
Yeah.
instead of like
That's a better
looking
way
at
of doing it.
at the databanks or something like that, they actually decide to explore outside of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're opposed to religion. What do we call curiosity?
Yeah, curiosity.
Yeah.
Or curious about the outside world. Yeah.
They're more interested in the world they're on than the world they're
That
people
was.
in.
Yeah, exactly. The world that is versus the world that was.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like the big theme. I love it. And so let's describe our hero. Perhaps what they look like, maybe something like distinguishing about them.
Okay.
Maybe by something that they wear or what they look like. First off, we should probably start. Do they have a gender?
Interesting question.
I mean, you could go like the whole. Um, so I remember this one show that humanity diverged into two separate directions. One was one that stayed on the Earth and maintained the human form. The other one diverged in this kind of like squid-like form or something like that to be able to traverse the vast emptiness of space.
Ugh.
Yeah,
So you're thinking of picking something wholly inhuman, or
yeah, like something kind of like a water bear, effectively. Something that can last
oh,
any
okay.
any kind of environment.
So an organism that's more just suited to dealing with. That's kind of hard to.
Yeah, that's kind of hard
It's
to.
hard to relate to though,
Yeah.
because the more alien you go with it, the more difficult it is to relate on a human level. Um.
Um, I'm thinking.
Oh, I
Oh,
sorry.
what?
If I don't want to cut you off, I
No, go
have
ahead. Go ahead.
okay. So I'm thinking that as building on the theme of cowardice, that humanity kind of resolved to just doing a very extreme form of cloning because people were so afraid of
Hmm.
like emotional intimacy and having to relate with other people on that deep a level that they just completely abandoned the idea of procreative pairing and
Mm-hmm.
just went into making clones.
Yeah.
So
And so
people are
over
born
almost
like test
genderless.
tubes.
Kind of, yeah. And they're just over
Like
time the society's moved away from the idea of gender entirely, and there's no.
they've hijacked the like whatever terraforming kind of stuff they had available
Yeah,
in
and
a
just
way.
over time that technology is sustained, and that's kind of what they operate on.
Or maybe it was like a conscious decision on like the original
Yeah, that's what I'm
clone's part.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then over time, it became more and more extreme, and then gender was completely phased out of their
Sure.
entire
So they're
identity.
genderless.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um,
What do they dress
but
like?
well, I had another point
Oh, sure.
piggybacking on that.
No, go ahead.
So perhaps because they're trying to break the mold of that, they actually either do dress or maybe behave in a particularly gendered way that they maybe identify with, as a
Oh
way
yeah.
of breaking away from the homogeny and the kind of blankness and the blandness of the culture.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna steal something from Star Trek here. Next gen,
Mm.
identify as female.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Like that one episode with Riker.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. My girlfriend laughs. Yeah. I want to do female.
Okay.
We cool with that?
All right. Sure.
Okay. So she identifies as female. Anything about her that the way she looks? Perhaps something dignifying about her that she thinks is why she screams female.
So I was thinking the way that they dress, basically, they have these old like space uniforms, and over
Yeah.
time they've gotten tattered and tattered and tattered. So maybe she kind of like tailors it into something feminine looking.
Something more elegant, something
Yeah.
more not military or very
Versus like a
industrial
Fallout
looking.
jumpsuit. It's like a
Yeah.
more like
So maybe some
feminine version.
sweeping patterns and different textures and colors, maybe from pigments or dyes that she found.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think that ties into the whole explorer thing.
Yeah. Breaking away from the norm.
Yeah. Handcrafted. Should we say? What do we call it? Like so. I like the idea that they were wearing some sort of like suit or like they had some sort of like bunch of uniforms, and over time people have been like, or at least our hero has been tinkering with it and adding different like patches of different colors and that kind of stuff to it. So it's more like Technicolor.
Yeah. So
So
like patchwork Technicolor outfits is
handcrafted. Yeah. Spacesuit. Yeah, digging it. Yeah, I imagine it's something that looks like if like Mass Effect-y, like originally,
yeah.
and then since then it's like there's no like metal pieces on it anymore. It's just like the skin suit underneath it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
With like different things just sewn in haphazard for color.
yeah. That one episode where Riker tries to bang someone, really narrowing it down there, Aaron. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's the one with the genderless people, and there's a trial for the person. It's like the total analog for homosexuality. Anyways, hero's name.
I would think as clones they would have like numbers. So maybe she actually has a name or
Sam.
like something.
Yeah, that would probably work. Something drawn from an older
Yeah, drawn
culture
from.
that doesn't. It sounds alien to the people there, but it would have been popular at the time.
I was thinking of something genderless as well,
Oh,
which would
that
be
also
Sam.
works. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Uh, well, we could do more like philosophical. Like, would they be named after a concept? Like they don't like, or
Um,
what are our naming conventions? Because if they are numbers or something, perhaps they were originally numbers and then they're called something. Do they
Or like
choose their own name?
or alphanumeric. Okay.
Mm,
So then you
like
could have a name that's spelled out from like a combination of alphanumeric. So
like,
like
yeah,
instead of so maybe the serial number is R341, but she calls herself real or something like that.
oh, I see where you're going.
Hmm. Ergo proxy. That's what I'm
Yeah, okay.
riffing off of.
So you could do like S4M or something specifically for that name if you wanted to keep it. I like that.
so is it S4M?
It or
S1.
like S hyphen 4M or something just to make it more that
Yeah,
Hmm.
unit S designation 4M. I like that.
cool. We move over and do the Fallen next. So the
Hmm.
Fallen is one of the many who promote the flaw. You challenge the hero and you make their struggle difficult. The first thing we do is we come up with a relationship to the hero. So we should
Okay.
choose one: a family, a friend, a guardian, a leader, or a lover.
I have an idea. I think the databank itself.
Ooh.
Ooh, so like a super entity.
So that would be guardian
Guardian, yeah.
or
Okay.
leader.
Yeah, Guardian or Leader, something like that.
So I'll do guardian.
Basically, like, as a result of all the rogue elements becoming a part of it,
Yeah.
it's trying to reinforce itself and trying to like, continue its own existence beyond the point of utility.
Cool.
Okay.
So the occupation clearly would be religion, I guess, or communications.
Hmm. Or, like, spiritual head or something like
Yeah.
that.
So it would be religious slash spiritual head entity. Right? Is
Hmm.
that a way
Yes.
of putting it?
That's a good one, yeah.
Describe yourself.
Um,
Literally, massive server farms. Figuratively, what does it call itself, or does it
well,
have?
here's
Is
the
it just
question.
we?
Do we want it to be like a consensus entity that's based on like all of the different minds connected to it, or do we want it to be just an idea, like all of these minds acting together? Like, do we want it to have a personality or just be an idea?
Probably should be a personality.
Hmm.
So, all right, then it would probably refer to itself as we.
Yeah.
So, mm, uh,
I mean, we could be very on the nose here and call it Echo.
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking of calling it the bridge, but
Oh, like
Echo
Star
Bridge.
Command.
Star Command. Or maybe just the totem.
Yeah, totem.
okay. Then the pillar.
Call it the pillar.
The Pillarman.
Just
No,
make
no,
it
no. I'm
confusing.
sorry. I'm just
Just to make it confusing.
the pillar totem.
Okay. So it's literally just massive server farms. Does it when it speaks? Does it have one voice? Does it speak with like many voices? Does it sound like the Protoss from StarCraft?
Let's have it speak through like a speech synthesizer or something, where it just comes up as blank text. I like that.
Ooh.
My vision, like, if you've ever seen this one video, this person managed to sync up a piano to actually sound like it's actually making speech. So, I don't know, it sounds something in between human and something that sounds entirely like musical.
So it sounds like it's pulled a bunch of different like sound bites together in order to
Yeah.
form its speech.
Synthetic voices.
Yeah. Maybe it's like basically the speech equivalent of a ransom note, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of haphazard parts cut out and then glued back together to
Like,
make something
I
silly.
believe that me.
Yeah.
Some,
What do we call
Oh,
that?
like the master
What do
from Fallout 1.
patchwork?
Yeah, patchwork would work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or, just as an idea,
hmm
with every word or maybe every other word, it just has a different voice cut in from one of the different personalities that are a part of it.
hmm
Or,
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
like that one. I would say interchanging
yeah.
synthetic voices. Cool. I like to see how that gets opposed. And then last but not least is the pillar. The pillar, you're one of many ordinary people. You apologize for or you ignore the harm caused by the flaw, and you're just reflecting the average citizen. Oh, let me back up real quick. Fallen. Just so we know, so the Fallen's role in the game is to be making sure that the hero is being opposed. For everything the hero does or actions where you feel necessary, you have the power to say that his actions have a consequence by saying, "But there is a consequence," which is the magical words. You can say that in the scene or maybe at the end of the scene and sort of describe a ramification of that. That comes before the hero's turn to do the reflection part of the turn. So now pillar. We go back to the pillar. The relationship of the pillar to the hero.
I was thinking family or a friend.
Uh, yeah.
I was thinking leader, as in the elder of her tribe.
Go on.
Um, can that be? Can that be? Why not both?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, maybe like a family or a friend is on their way towards becoming leader or is a leader. Yeah.
hmm
Um, so well, what is family for people who are artificially born?
The gene stock that they came from, so
So I'll put quotes family.
yeah.
My thought was like, so you had like, I don't know, maybe like 12 original seed people,
Yeah.
and then from there, you created all these variations inside these clones.
hmm
And then I guess the ones that you're most genetically similar to are considered your family, quote unquote.
Yeah. The ones
Or
you would have had your genes immediately pulled from and mashed together.
hmm
should our tribe have a name?
Um,
I could just say leader of tribe if we want, but I always
Yeah.
find that it's more evocative to have a name.
it might be interesting to give her. Well, we haven't really clearly defined them, but like we're pretty much in agreement that we want the tribes to be like security, engineering, etc., like command.
hmm
Oh, I wasn't thinking that.
Oh well,
I was thinking that that was the original use of the cards, but now like the actual
well,
tribes
I was
are
thinking
just
like
scattered
the
groups, right?
name was
Oh,
the name stayed after like security broke from command, and
yeah,
then the name just carried forward.
got
Like it
it.
doesn't have the
Yeah,
same significance, but that's what the
Right.
naming scheme
yeah,
is.
got it. Um,
I don't know if you want to go with that.
So
so
no, I like that. Like head of science or
yeah,
head of
I was
But no
science.
one knows what science is. No one knows what engineering
exactly.
is.
Yeah,
No one knows what
leader
command
of tribe
means.
science. Um,
Team science. I guess there's also a math squad too. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
so occupation with the pillar. What do you do? What tradition is your occupation connected to? I guess hospitality.
I would say education.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Like you're teaching
that,
about all the ship technology and stuff like that.
oh yeah, okay. Teachers of technology. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Um, okay. And what does our family member look like? First off, male or female?
Mm. No, I thought we were going with genderless clones.
Oh, that's right.
yeah. So it doesn't
So
really
this
matter.
also genderless. Is it important that Sam is rebelling against that genderless thing and thinking as female?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That was my
Okay.
Yeah.
thought process.
So genderless. What do we call our pillar then?
I was also imagining like genderless and shaved head, you know,
Yeah, that's
in order to
basically what it's
maximize
for.
the androgyny.
Yeah. Like Mac or like something like that. Like once again, also a 3-letter name.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or yeah. Or
M4K.
C4M. C4M.
Cam. Yeah.
Cam.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Oh, that's nice because they're also family
And that
members.
puts them directly,
Exactly.
yeah. Right.
Nice. Also genderless. Love it. Okay. Awesome. So the pillar is supposed to do two things during their turns. The first thing that they do is that they get to describe the corruption, and the corruption is how the flaw is taking hold over one of these traditions and how it's getting worse. Then after that, they also have an obligation to play ordinary people should the scene demand it. Okay, so I think we're ready to begin.
All right.
Yeah. So to begin, anyone have any kind of cool ideas? Do they want to be the pillar first, or the hero, or the fallen? Like, anybody want to play a role first?
I don't really have any objections to playing anybody, honestly.
Yeah.
So, dice roll it, I guess, unless there's something that you prefer, Eric.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty much undecided either. I'm good with
Let's roll a
whatever.
d6.
Wait, how are we identifying what's what?
So I guess the higher number
Yeah,
is...
a high number gets their choice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, guess it's Nick.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, oh.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Nick's choice indicates where the rest of us fall. So
Right.
I'm gonna go with pillar, I think.
okay. So then you're gonna be pillar. If you're pillar, then the person on your left should be the hero, which would be Zethro, and then the person
Okay.
on the right would be me. So I'm the fallen.
All right. I'm S4M. Sam.
Cool. So pillar. Start the game off by describing the corruption and what tradition you would like to mess with. Basically, poke with a stick.
Okay. Is it the corruption of? It's the corruption of that tradition specifically. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going to choose a tradition, and then you're going to describe a situation or current event where the flaw is causing the tradition to become harmful.
Yeah.
In a few sentences.
All right. So. This is tough. These are all really good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of doing communications and reflecting the flaw of cowardice. Let me think. Okay, so I'm thinking that within the communications branch among the elders, there was probably always some sort of strata between the elders for who got access to the data jacks to get into communications, and the elders are kind of backing off of letting more and more people have access to the data because they fear that letting more
Oh my
people
God.
kind of interact with the consensus is just agitating the rogue elements, so they're
What if-
steadily drawing inward.
Yeah. What if? Yeah. So the data jacks or whatever, they have to be. There's a limited number of them, right?
Yeah.
So when the elder dies or whatever, and like they transfer their consciousness over, then someone has to like surgically remove that and like put it in someone else somehow, like in the way that they think is best.
Yep.
Oh God.
And so perhaps because
could
of
go
that,
wrong?
they've started to kind of just like gate more and more of them off and started stockpiling them and just prevented other people from having access to them because they're afraid of letting people just interact
Have
with the
access, yeah.
consensus at all. So basically, just the high elders are the
are
ones getting
limiting
access.
Okay, yeah.
So
So
even
you're
people that-
saying is that they're coming against the practice of transferring the data jacks now? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Okay.
Okay.
Because yeah, so They should be the corruption should be it's considered common knowledge, and most people in the Haven should be aware of its existence, even if they have different interpretations of its significance.
And people are aware of it, but
Yeah.
no one can really do anything because it's in the upper echelons of the society.
Yep. Okay. So now, as the hero gets to frame the first scene. And let me just talk about scenes for a quick second. So scenes should always be about the hero. The hero must be in the scene. Scenes don't have to be with anybody else. You could just do like a vignette if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, when you frame a scene, it's important to describe where the hero is, who is with the hero, and what's the situation. And then we assign secondary characters as needed.
I guess
You should be framing scenes that explore the hero's life, and you should be showing how the hero is reacting to the corruption, or show how the hero is working to save the Haven from the flaw.
Okay. So the thing that's happening is that data jacks are being stockpiled.
More specifically, that they're being kept away from the
They're being
transfer
kept
process to new elders. And this is a sudden change. This is a new change.
Oh. Would you like a suggestion?
Yes, please.
How about a scene between Cam and Sam, where Cam's telling the news that Sam will not be getting his data jack by decree.
Okay.
Okay.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Frame away, Zethro.
Yeah, so we have Sam speaking to her father, Cam, saying, "I don't get it. I thought the point of having all these data jacks available is so we could all tap into our ancestors, that we could all be part of this thing, and now they're kind of keeping it away. Why? Why would they do that?"
Quickly, where are we again? Like, place-wise, location-wise. Their
Oh,
home, the
location-wise,
school?
I would say inside their own personal quarters.
Okay.
I don't think this would be like a public discussion.
All right. So Cam kind of just, in the scene, he's kind of just like, well, they're the elders. They speak directly to the ancients of our entire race. We cannot question their judgment. They have access to greater knowledge than I could ever teach you or any of the other students.
I mean, they're smart, but we're all part of the same tribe, aren't we?
Uh,
They're all
So I
part
think-
of our tribe. Yeah.
Cam will kind of think about it, and he's like, yes, but they are still wiser than any of us could ever be. They are the elders. They are in their positions for a reason. We cannot challenge their status. It would be going against everything we believe in to challenge the higher orders.
And then... I'm sorry, I'm kind of lost as to what I do next. I guess... just continue the scene of
Well, the
this
dialogue is to...
dialogue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna push for it? Like, to
I guess-
explain why, or are you gonna get in a fight with your dad? Like,
I
how
guess-
excited are you? How excited were you about getting a data jack? And basically, your dad just said you're not getting presents from Christmas.
Yeah. No, oh.
Possibly. Like, that's
Sam, no, I think Sam would totally be pissed about this, leaving a huff.
Okay,
Like,
so
this
you
is
just,
some
you
garbage
just bail.
explanation.
And
Sure.
I'm just left here like, I don't get it. What is emotion? I do not
Like,
follow.
What is Sam's problem, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
So Cam would just kind of be there dumbfounded, like,
Sure.
why would you be angry over what the elders have decided?
Should that actually be the scene? Is that all you wanted to do? Is kind of show that you're rebelling?
I guess kind of like sparking
Scenes
that
don't have to be
first
very
seed.
long. Yeah. That's fine with me. I think there's a consequence.
Okay.
The consequence of you storming out from that is that I think as he recognizes that perhaps he needs to Cam needs to consider, or your society needs to consider having an alternate replace her for Sam, like as somebody else who can still lead the family without a data jack, somebody more willing, as sort of just a pragmatic solution. Basically drawing up a backup plan and be like, okay, my son's not going to work, then perhaps we should be considering these candidates. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
like in a very non-loving way.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
Basically, like, okay, well, that experiment's not working out well. Well, let's try a different experiment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Some of them
so
will be more willing.
yep. So now I am the fallen, and I get to create a scene. We are going to go. I want to do a flashback. Of Sam. I want to do a religious flashback. Basically, Sam is like basically Sam's first communion, which I think would be a really interesting thing about the. I think communion literally means communion. Like I think you get as part of the religion, you get a chance to feel the presence of the totem. Maybe not communicate with it, but maybe it communicates with you for a quick second.
Yeah.
And you realize, right? And then you realize that, like, so the elders aren't lying about what they're doing.
Right.
That there is something here. So I think it's going to be a scene where Cam brings Sam into sort of like the religious sanctuary, wherever that is, and there is there's sort of like another religious dignitary there to oversee what goes on, because they're paranoid of letting someone like get too much access from this kind of stuff. And I think he's going to meet Totem for the first time. So this is the first time you experience Totem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think there is a am I gonna steal from? I'm totally gonna steal from it. I'm stealing. There is
Go
sort of
for
like
it.
there's like a watery, like gooey basin that you put your fingers in
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
that you connect to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Harry Potter reference, I think. No.
Nope.
What are you
Battlestar.
referencing here? Oh, okay. Ah, man, I really got to brush up on my sci-fi. So,
So, yeah, I'm thinking of like the weird foggy pools that exist in Battlestar with lights and stuff around them, and sort of like that perpetual kind of like fog going around it.
Okay.
So this is like a very, very religious room, and we start
Do
out.
we want it to be an enclosed space or an open space?
Oh, it's enclosed.
Okay.
It's probably part of like a relic of the ship somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
like the actual physical ship.
mm-hmm.
All right. So I picture kind of like, even though there's not a lot of intimacy in the civilization, Cam kind of holding Sam's hand as they walk into a communion kind of already going on for the young people to first experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the entire facility is kind of lined with rows and rows of people standing at different elevations. And like one by one, they'll come down when the elder kind of just beckons new people to come down and like have communion. And so they kind of like walk in and kind of just join the rank and file.
Yeah. So I wanna pose a question to Sam. What is Sam expecting when he knows he's going to commune with the totem?
I guess Sam would totally be giddy and excited about this. Like, this is something that has been really, like, pumped up about.
I know he's riding the hype train, making all local stops, but what does he think the totem is going to do to him, like when he talks, or you know?
That I think when Sam talks to the totem, he expects, or she expects, just, I guess, feeling that knowledge of the past, feeling it course into her, and feeling that connectedness. She expects only like good things to come out of it.
Mm.
And I think, considering the situation, Cam's really nervous because maybe he's either seen evidence of it in the past or he's just worried that maybe Sam won't take to the whole experience and it might be like a big problem for her going forward in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that hype doesn't stay or she gets kind of just like disillusioned by the whole thing, which she probably fears is a very real possibility, that it could just ruin her for the rest of her life.
Okay. So, So you and your dad are walking to this pool. I'll play also the religious figure person if I need to, who's like, come on, come and just dip your hands gently, both hands, into the basin. I think there's a like sudden jolt to your body. You don't see anything in your mind's eye or whatever, but you definitely hear a voice, and it's your own voice. It's your voice at the same age as well, only in a very, very calm, like inhumanly calm manner, speaking with like the utmost urgency, saying, "You have to get me out of here."
And I think Sam, just kind of shocked by this entire thing, doesn't even believe that it actually happened. That it was
Yeah.
just her mind making up tricks.
Yeah, it's basically saying like, "Get out, like get me out of here," and it's you. It's like you telling yourself, right? Like only it was clearly another voice in your head. So do you disconnect or do you continue?
I would think that Sam would like be startled, take her hands out briefly,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like look up at her dad, like what she should be doing. Like I would imagine that this ceremony
Yeah.
would take place when they were super young, like
Yeah.
4, 5
Oh,
years old.
Five, six,
no, it's
seven.
actually I pictured it more like 10 or 11, like a child's first
Okay.
communion in
Oh,
the Catholic
okay.
Church.
All right.
Okay.
So like just old enough to kind of get it, right?
Be cognizant of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cam would kind of be just like startled because he was afraid of that reaction. Something very like offended by whatever just happened.
Yeah.
And then Sam just kind of, or yeah, she just gingerly puts her hands back into the pool again. Like maybe it was just a fluke, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
You feel a sensation of like an elevated heartbeat. You feel the sensation of being exhausted. Like you feel and you hear your voice, you hear like other voices being like, "You have to get me out. You have to get me out. You have to get me out. It's going to be you." Like you can stop it, and that's like what you hear, like whispering.
And then I think at that point, I don't know, maybe the ceremony finishes its bit.
Or maybe
Yeah.
you're just called out of the pool. Like maybe
Or yeah,
Yeah,
like-
yeah,
your
like
time.
you're pulled out. Yeah. I think
Yeah, the religious
Yeah.
figures just
So-
pull me out of the pool.
Or
'Cause
just
I've hanging
Cam.
out too long.
Cam kind of just lays his hands on your shoulders and just kind of slowly guides you back out.
like you get the sensation that that the totem feels threatened, and it doesn't explain why. It just says that something's wrong. Something's wrong. You have to get me out.
Mhm.
So, what could that mean?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
implications.
the implication.
Goodness.
Okay. Cool. So that is the first round. Oh, hero, Sam slash Zethro. It is now your turn to describe the hero's thoughts of what's going on.
I guess-
This is called the reflection. How does he feel about the current state of the Haven, or how does the hero feel about the current state of the Haven?
Sam is just like, this is garbage. They couldn't even give me a data jack. That's so weird. Maybe it's because they knew about my secret bug collection or something.
Oh, awesome. So you're feeling a little disillusioned, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you would describe it? In other words, okay.
Yeah, disillusioned, yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So now we rotate. I will play the pillar. Yeah, Zethro, you become the fallen, and
Okay.
Nick becomes the hero.
Okay.
I'm going to do a corruption on the cards
Okay.
as a rite of passage. I think there are want to phrase this? Do I just want to say there are no more cards in the ship, or
Or, yeah, maybe like the machine that produces cards just breaks down completely.
yeah, I think the machine breaks down. No, because you have to recover your cards. Like you have to earn a card somewhere in this ship.
Okay.
Um, or maybe I should choose something else. Um,
My thought was that there was kind of a limited dispensary of cards, and like
I
no
got
one
it.
knew.
I got it. It's the death of the dignitary that was over your communion. He recently died. Like he up and bit it. You heard a rumor that he wasn't actually connected to Totem. That he was denied entry. Everyone else says he was, but like you've heard from somewhere somehow that he was not denied, or he was denied entry to Totem.
Okay. So Sam would have been of the impression that, like, as all children are, that the people just kind of, step into this great gate and ascend to being part of Totem.
Yeah,
And she's heard that. Okay.
especially, I mean, he imagine this guy was like a, not the Pope, right, but like
No, like the local
religious
bishop of your
dude,
church
right?
or something.
Yeah, right.
Some guy
yeah, like
and then
not
you're
not even
comfortable.
your priest, but like your priest's boss,
Yeah,
right?
just something.
And got denied. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
That
All
seems yeah.
How do I want to frame this? How do I want to frame this? Okay.
Mystery.
Um. Okay, so I'm thinking, going back to that kind of, what do you want to call it, like a rectory or a crucible or something.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
location
the
where the
Crucible's
communion
cool.
Yeah, the
Gold
crucible.
Crucibles. Yeah.
Yeah, where the communion was.
Oh hell yeah! Awesome.
And I'm picturing Sam's there, kind of just with like no one around, and the liquid that's usually displayed to allow people to make communion has been sucked up into like a little tube on the floor or something, so the thing's barren. And so Sam's kind of just sitting there and thinking back to that moment in her flashback and thinking like nothing makes sense. What? I have no idea what's going on, and things are changing too fast. And this was maybe like several weeks after the thing with the data jacks. So
Yeah.
she kind of just, not knowing really what else to do, she kind of just leans forward and dips her hands into where the liquid should be and kind of just runs them over the steel surface. And she thinks back to like hearing all of the voices and the cacophony in her head. And she starts kind of just like trying to piece the different elements that she's known about together. And she kind of stands up and she turns around and she sees Cam kind of standing in the doorway watching her with a kind of blank expression.
Yeah. Does Sam notice? Sam notices Cam, right?
Yeah, she's turned around and she can like see him.
Oh, I think Cam looks for a second, like he looks away. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt."
Sam kind of just like starts like sprinting past him and trying to get away from him and the whole place and just try to make sense of things in her head. And she ends up sprinting down kind of like this.
Child, please don't run. You know that the instructors tell us to not run down the halls.
She keeps fleeing. She runs out past the metal grate and down this kind of like patchwork metal railing system that goes down a ledge of the canyon.
Sam, please, why are you running with such haste? I didn't mean.
She-
I'm sorry to impose on you. I'm sorry.
She just kind of keeps running and running until she gets to this kind of like little cave area that she likes to visit. Kind of just like a little outcropping with some rocks that she's kind of put up around it. She kind of
Cam's
ducks
voice fades away as you hide in your.
and she kind of ducks into it, and she kind of just like sits there like clutching her head for a second, and she thinks about the what do we want to call him? An elder? Are we calling him?
Totem?
Not
No,
totem,
no,
the,
just-
Oh, the dignitary.
the dignitary.
Yeah,
All right,
the
the
elder.
dignitary. She kind of thinks back to the dignitary, and she remembers a moment where she had seen a kind of strange figure that didn't look like properly dressed like their culture, kind of talking with him in the crucible one night when she was just kind of happening by. And she noticed something kind of like exchange hands between them that looked like a long kind of trail of wires. And she doesn't really remember what exactly it was, but she has an idea, and she's kind of just like thinking about like the scene kind of ends with her obsessing about this figure that she'd seen.
Hmm. So I guess.
So you retreat. So yeah, your dad eavesdrops on you.
And she kind of
you run off.
retreats away from the whole thing and she's trying to piece together like what's going on. She's not really sure about it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of kind of just like little disparate parts from the near future and the far future, and she's kind of just like trying to figure out, all right, how does this fit with this and this fit with this? Like she has kind of an off feeling, and she doesn't know how the different pieces fit together.
Okay. How does that have a consequence?
Yep.
I would say
Consequences should be meaningful sacrifices or unfortunate outcomes that naturally result from the hero's actions.
that in her haste to run away, maybe she ends up hitting an important data line or communication line.
So some sort of important thing that links the totem to the supercomputer thing, to the mainframe.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
something that interferes with the...
Yeah. So she's
Yeah.
just kind of messed up the entire communication system.
hmm
Could I slightly modify that? Would you mind
Go
hearing
ahead.
a suggestion? Could it be that that it actually happens in her little sanctuary? That perhaps like wherever she is has like it might be in like a air duct or something of the ship, and where like cables run by, and somehow like something's been wired there. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
like not it's like accidentally, because like she probably like customized what it looks like and stuff like that, and she may
Yeah.
have inadvertently moved some wires and they got
Yeah, in her haste to get in there, she just kind of like messed some things up that
Yeah.
were like very precarious.
yeah.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
like that. Okay.
Excellent.
Excellent. All according to plan.
Okay. So now you can make a scene totem / fallen. The scene does not have to follow directly after that one. It could also be a flashback or a flash forward. Totally up to what you want to do.
I would say that this is a flash forward. Okay.
Okay.
We have a flash forward, and I think it's downfall based on what the hero did. So we're now going to, I guess, Cam trying to send some kind of message to another area of the ship, and it's totally not working at all.
Oh,
And-
okay.
Okay.
Let's see. And then how do I challenge the hero for this? I guess Sam, because she's part of the science family, so to speak, she has the job of trying to, I guess, repair this? No. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to chime in.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've decided as Cam that Sam's recent irregularities means she is no longer a viable candidate to follow suit as leader, and I have chosen someone else. And you're going to write this message to appeal that process
hmm
and appeal to the other elders, which is perfectly allowable. Like that idea?
I love that
Okay.
idea.
I'll go with that.
Let's run with it.
Okay.
All right. So this is probably in the communications array kind of area where they meet up, and it'd be Cam that's trying to send this communique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Cam's trying to like I guess hail the mainframe and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm like Sam, I know you're upset about my ruling, but and I will give you the rightful appeals process as all the children of the Pride of Sol are given. But I can tell you, in my 53 years, I've never seen a single appeal overturn a ruling of a current leader. But
And Sam kind of just like blurts out, and she's like, "To hell with it all! It doesn't matter anymore. I don't care. The whole nonsense with Totem and getting into the system."
Sam, I think the fact that you don't care and this nonsense is that's a core part of who we are, and perhaps that's why I elected to choose choose Mac to become my replacement instead of you. It's not personal. I'm thinking of what's best for our tribe, for science.
She kind of takes a
I really hope you understand that. Like I still love you as a family member would love a parent would love their child, but I must think greater than my immediate family.
Sam kind of takes like a
that's what separates us from the natives, Sam, is that we consider what's best for all.
Sam kind of takes a stamping step forward in like the middle of his prattle and just kind of like talks under him, and at the same time she's like,
it's very patronizing.
Ways don't work. You haven't seen what I've seen. You haven't heard what I've heard. You don't know what you're doing.
You keep talking about that time during your communion, but I'm telling you that's impossible. You can't hear your own voice in the totem. You are clearly alive.
She kind of just like, does a bunch of dismissive gestures, and she's like, I know what I heard. I know what it said to me, and I know that nothing you say is going to change my mind.
But have you ever... But I implore you one more time. It just doesn't make sense. How could the totem leave? It doesn't exist outside of itself. It exists as the soul ether that flows in our ship. Where would it go? It makes no sense to request such a thing.
Sam kind of...
Please, I'm pleading with you.
Sam kind of flails her hands around. She's like, I don't know, but I know that your way doesn't work. And I know what you're saying doesn't apply to this. I know that whatever you say doesn't grasp what I'm trying to get across to you, and you're never going to get it.
Very well. I believe we are talking at odds at one another. I wish to terminate this type of conversation, and I wish to write your appeals process, so I may remain neutral.
She kind of screams, fine, and just kind of bails out of the entire communications array.
So I think Cam begins to try to do the dial-in process. So... what happens? I mean, I assume I'm successful unless the fallen has a consequence or something, or like a consequence for the hero going off and doing this and me doing this.
Ooh, well, sorry, I won't cut in yet.
The consequence of the hero storming off while Cam does the appeals process. I would say that part of the appeals process is surveillance of the candidate involved.
Okay.
So seeing this like storm off, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like originally there was a shot.
So maybe Cam had set it up like with whoever beforehand to kind of just like see how Sam would react to that entire idea of the appeals process, and seeing her react the way she did kind of just completely ruined it altogether.
Oh, so Cam is actually writing a or pretending to is basically like a trap. Like the appeals process was the test.
To test her at that moment of extreme.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, I love that. Feeling.
And that's just kind of botched it entirely. She has no way.
Oh yeah. Okay. So they botched it. Okay.
That's what I'm going with.
All right.
So Sam is permanently no longer a member, or no longer in line to become leader of Tribe Science.
She could never be a leader of Tribe
Which
Science.
means she'll never get access to a jack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're the hero, Sam. Why are you giving them extra ammunition? I'm just kidding.
Because it must all burn.
Awesome. Okay. So once again, now we go back to the hero. Hero, you get to describe the ramifications, the consequences. So what is the hero feeling like now that they've been denied? Like no one is taking you seriously about what you saw. People have been denying you the access, or you've been denied access to become leader of Tribe Science.
I think Sam's less concerned with that entire situation just falling through and more concerned with just finding a way now, whatever the way is, to get at the Central Intelligence and try to commune with it more. Because whatever the plan was before, it's completely fallen through. So what she needs to focus on now is just getting a data jack or something, some method of communicating with them. And she's obviously kind of upset with what's happened, but at the same time she knows that, like, she can't just conform to that rigidity. She can't just abandon her thoughts. She can't just continue to lie to everyone.
Okay, so now we rotate.
Okay.
Zethro, I believe you're the pillar now, right?
That's right.
Yep, you're the pillar, so you get to create a corruption. Nick, you are now the fallen, and I will be the hero.
All right. I guess. So I'm thinking maybe education. So tradition being corrupted by cowardice. I guess it's just the same old flight training videos over and over again. Just like how to refuel at a spaceport or something like that. Just something completely irrelevant to the current situation. And I guess cowardice. I guess because it's been inside the projector for so long, it's actually starting to fuse with the projector. So it's actually becoming more difficult for it to be changed out for other things. Nah, I'm not liking that.
I see where you're going with that, though. That the limited availability of projectors, and because
like the information itself is slowly getting
more and more limited by the amount of resources they have, to the point where eventually they're just going to have like 5 training tapes.
Or yeah, they never. No, here's what it is. They didn't look for an alternative power source. Okay, so the ship's core that's powering these projectors
is failing.
Oh.
Failing.
Which has greater implications to everything.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. There we go.
There we go. So the ship's power core is failing.
This is an interesting projection.
Nice. I got it. So the scene that I want to do. Do I want to do it as a forward and this one be a flashback, or should this be a flashback and then hopefully, Nick, you do the next obvious choice?
I don't know what the next obvious choice is.
I guess the scene that I want to do is that Sam. We're going to play the scene where Sam is actually searching through the ship. Sam, in a defiant manner, Sam thinks that, I don't know. I was thinking that Sam would actually go to the ship and try to solve the power crisis in the ship if to become leader again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but that kind of defies the fact that Sam doesn't care anymore.
Maybe
she doesn't care for the authority structures, but she does care about the people involved.
Yeah. That she still wants to be leader. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I like the idea that Mac is not a good leader, and that Sam makes a back deal with Cam, that Sam could become leader if she can fix this problem.
So elevate her to a position of authority where she doesn't have to go through the rigmarole.
Yeah, basically, through back channeling, because that would be a cowardly thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they can make it so that way basically, Mac is like the figurehead for Sam's actual efforts.
Ooh.
That's pretty
I like the idea that they're actually going to betray Sam and make it so Mac's the hero anyways. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Well, Totem.
You gave me my consequence.
Yeah. So the scene actually will begin with Sam going through like the dark parts of inside the canyon, like the canyon face where like the ship has like broken through, so it's like deep into some sort of like almost network of levels and natural stonework. And Sam has now gone farther than she had to for her caller ID process. She opened the door that laid just beyond the room with the ID cards, because she thought she heard somebody, a voice from beyond the door. She opens the door, and we see it is a looks to be like the med bay, or like an emergency medical bay, or like a what do you call it? Like a life raft, like a shuttle that was left on the ship. And we hear a muffled banging, coming from like inside the med bay somewhere, saying, "You have to let me out," basically echoing what was being said in her vision during her communion. Only it's a different voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly a male voice. Sam's probably 20 or so right now, ish. This is somebody this is like an 8-year-old boy saying like, "Help, help." It sounds like faint and very muffled. Somewhere in this dark med bay area.
Okay.
All right, and I guess that's
So
the
Sam,
pillar.
Sam stumbles around the base, going towards the voice. Actually tries to refer to it as Totem. Like, "Is that you, Totem? Totem?" Like, no one believes me that like you want to be out. And then like she discovers a one of those regeneration or like cloning vats, whatever. And there's an 8-year-old, basically, child.
Just kind of like,
Yeah, like trying to get out of it.
please let me out of here.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, how are you? What? Okay, sure. And she's frantically looking around for some kind of like tool or something to open up this sort of like, I imagine it's kind of like the like the regeneration chamber thing in The Empire Strikes Back that Luke's in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like sort of like that kind of container. And so so Sam's looking around frantically trying to find like something. She finds probably like a rebarb or some kind of pole thing, and she starts like cracking at the glass to let him out.
Then
Yeah, and it breaks, and the fluid kind of covers all over the old modded floor. I help the child out. Meanwhile, like the power like kind of continues to flicker on the ship, like in the distance. Like who? Are you okay?
we have been waiting.
We? What tribe are you?
I am all tribes. I guess kind of like where do you want to go with this?
Oh, I don't know.
Just roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
All tribes. I don't understand. Are you hungry? Are you okay? Can you walk?
Kind of like looks around at the settings. It's kind of stunning. But I guess the kid faints after that.
Yeah. Now I have to solve this power core and this kid. Oh man, what did I get myself into coming down here? Why would I even want to be the leader of science? All right. Well, okay. First aid. Okay. This is a med bay. I'm trying to remember what the training manuals say. Look for the cross. If there's a cross somewhere that has stuff in it. It has those syringes. I'm okay. Okay. And she starts like looking through the cabinets or like whatever things are around. Perhaps she finds some sort of like restorative gel or something like that, and starts like smearing it on his head. Like there. There. The
Like a little bit of
yeah. There.
fluid
It's
comes-
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Are we? This is New Haven, right? This is supposed to be our new home, right?
Oh, you mean the pride of Soul? Yeah, we're its descendants. It
We
it
were-
landed well. I mean, it sort of crashed, but yeah. Are
we
you
were
okay?
we were to leave the ship. It was never meant to survive this long. We were to leave and spread.
What tribe are you?
Tribe?
What? Of course, yeah, tribe. Okay, look. Are you engineering? I need to know how to power the ship, and I think I know it, but I just need to ask an engineer like one question about the core flux capacitor.
Um,
well,
Like I need to find. I know it's a part, and I know it's going to be around here somewhere.
I guess the eyes roll back in this kid's head,
Yeah.
just briefly, and kind of goes into this kind of trance-like motion, like, and then stops, looks, and then just points.
Wow. You engineers are a weird bunch. Come on. And I like probably like support you as we go. Are you what's your name? How long you were how are you trapped here?
I
So you don't have a tribe? Were you here the whole time?
I
God, what am I gonna Here, while we're here, let's see if we can get you a card and you can come back with me to science. After this mess is over.
science. Hold on, and then
Yeah.
he just spouts off the definition of science as if you're like a computer, almost. Kind of like going like all Wikipedia on you.
Like, this might sound weird, but you remind me of. I don't even want to say it. You remind me of the totem.
Totem?
Yeah, the totem, the guardian, the ether, the graveyard for all souls of heroes of our civilization. It's the last great remembrance of who we were, and we stand to honor it. The descendants of the pride of soul, so that
Sorry.
we one day may join you.
Kind of going meta. I'm
Yeah.
confused as to what I need to do.
Oh,
There's no need. You just roll with it. Just go for it.
Okay.
Do what you want.
yeah.
All right. But I guess I'm the pillar, so I need to try and maintain something.
Well, you're a secondary character.
Oh, I'm just a secondary character.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Take me to this totem.
Sure, but once we get these data jacks in here and get you a card, we'll take you to that totem, no problem. So, do we want to play the scene where like we just fast forward to that, or
Or like doing the operation itself and just kind of like what
like
do
do
you
we restore power?
um
Like, do we restore power and get you a card and we go and I take you to totem? Or should we end the scene there, assuming that stuff happens?
I think let's end
And
the scene there, assuming that
because
stuff
I feel like
happens.
that might be a good fallen scene.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, cool.
So the obvious well, not the obvious consequence. The consequence I'm going to lay over this is that, assuming those things do happen, are we including those as kind of things that happen within the confines of still being in the scene, or are we just leaving those until a new scene with her bringing kid back?
No, they happen. They happen. and
Okay,
it's
so
over.
they still happen in the frame of that scene. So the consequence I'm going to lay to this is that Totem becomes aware of this kid's like existence, and it sends out a ripple effect throughout the entire thing.
Oh yeah.
To the point where like all the minds and the other tribes unintentionally become aware of this
Nice.
because the data just gets sent everywhere. So suddenly everyone knows about this kid.
And you know what? Now I figured out who this kid actually is.
Nice. Yeah, don't reveal
I won't
it.
say. I won't say.
That's the point. I was
It's
like,
the mystery.
I've been feeling like throwing curveballs tonight, so I appreciate you guys running with it. Okay, so it is 11:13. Would you mind holding off, Nick, for your scene for the
Oh
break?
yeah, no,
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay, cool, because we're a little bit overdue.
destroy you.
So we're gonna come back for hour 3 of Downfall by Carolyn Hobbs on episode 19 of Once Upon a Game. So see you guys in about 8 minutes.